Do you have trouble getting organized? And will the RYOBI Link modular storage help you? We'll find out in a moment. We've got a few modules of the RYOBI Link modular storage system, and we're going to use it on a wall in the shop that just has never really quite worked out as far as storage goes. There's some knickknacks and different tools on the wall and different pieces of equipment, and it's just kind of a mishmash of different stuff. So we're going to see if we can tidy this up rather quickly with this Link modular storage system. Let's get started. Okay, here's a quick look at what we have going on currently. As I mentioned, it's just kind of a hodgepodge of different things. A set of cylinder head stands that we made that we just kind of keep out of the way. There's the RYOBI rotary tool, or kind of the competitor to the Dremel tool. You can see from earmuffs to a blower, to ring expanders, a torque wrench, a drill, some different screwdrivers. Obviously, these screwdrivers and crescent wrench get used because we need a hammer from time to time. No, seriously, these screwdrivers and pliers and that drill probably gets used the most often, and every once in a while the torque wrench. But the rest of this stuff just kind of hangs around. So we're going to see if we can utilize this space more accordingly. Okay, we've got our wall clear. Now let's look and see what we have. All right, first up, we've got two of these systems here. This is the 7-piece kit. Comes with two of these, basically storage racks, and then you get some of these hooks here as well as a bin. I'm going to go ahead and see what's in here. So there's our little 2-part bin. Cardboard. Oh, some stuff in there. So basically, here's what you get in the kit. We get the 2 storage rack holders, or the modular storage system, the actual Link system that goes on the wall. We get a bin, and then it looks like we get 4 large hooks, and then screws as well as anchors. We also get an instruction kit with safety rules. No diving in the deep end, and all of that jazz. So we can screw directly to wood, or we can drill and use the anchors. So let's move these hooks out of the way. And get a close look at these. So basically, they are about 7 inches tall, and with the tongue about 33 inches long. So it looks like the screw holes are, so definitely there's one every 16 inches. So your typical stud wall is going to be fine. So you have one at 0, at 16, and it looks like at 10.5 and maybe 5.5, and then again at 21.5 and 26.5. So basically a screw hole every 5.5 inches. Now these screw holes here actually shouldn't be used to mount to the wall. These are the screw holes that should be used to mount to the wall, which should be at 16 inches, yes. So they're at 16 inches. These are for actually mounting the hooks on, where you can lock them down, and should not be used for actually mounting on the wall. But I do believe you can literally use any of this rail for mounting to the wall if you need to. So if you're not lined up with a stud to use these holes, then you can use any of these as well. Now we're actually going to use the anchors and go into the pegboard that we've got here. We know it's mounted securely, and we know our studs are not regular 16-inch studs on this wall. So we're going to utilize what we have already there, because we've also got plywood behind the pegboard that is underneath that AstroTurf, or whatever you want to call that, fake grass. Now I've made a couple of marks in order for the screws to actually hit some studs that we actually found, so we go ahead and line those up. So even though our camera looks a little crooked, that's actually level, as you can see there with our level. So there's one up. Now you can just kind of double these things under one another if you want to, but really that probably doesn't maximize the space because some of the stuff will hang and then get in the way of something beneath it. So what you can do is just kind of stagger these where you can kind of lengthen your linear output of the storage system as well. So we're probably going to do something like this. You can also go purely linear like we did there. That's just sitting up there, kind of meshes right to the end of our corner. We're not going to do that. That's in the corner. There's a workbench down here, so it's kind of hard to get to that area. So we are going to stagger it right there. This will also make it easy because we know our stud's right here, so we can nail the center of our stud right here through these eyelets that are already there. Okay, after one strip fastener, now let's take a look at the STM401, which is basically like a storage shelf that offers some hanging of the tools as well as a screwdriver rack and just kind of a nice shelf on the top to put some things. So now you get a good look at the back where it's actually going to hang in mesh with the link storage rack. And there's the shelf. And it looks like we can hold, looks like a few tools deep, at least a couple anyway. So let's get this hung. And really the only thing we have to do is line up so make sure you got them lined up, pull them down, you'll feel it lock into place. You'll also see the screw holes in there line up as well. So you'll see the screw holes on this shelf is lining up with the holes that were in the actual link system. It tells you you're seated all the way and you can put safety screws in there. So now I've added a couple of number 6 screws right there. Now you need to make sure they're at least long enough to fit that gap there. So they need to be at least an inch long or more, probably an inch and a half long to go through and to go into that plastic. But anyway, so that just helps with the safety and security, especially something hanging out here and it being able to hold that. These are metal shelves, and since we have those in studs, it should not be a problem. And this one is the STM402, so it's basically another tool shelf. It's going to hold tools and whatever else you want to put on it, but more of a kind of a general all-purpose shelf. The thing I like about these is that they are sheet metal. So this is the shelf, same hook system back here, just like the storage hooks. So they clip in here as well as here, and they kind of give you a little bit of a positive lock when they pop into place. So this setup, how we have it set right now, is probably not really making the best use of space, but it gives you an idea of the different things you can do. Then obviously you can take your hooks and you can hang them as well. So you want to kind of stagger your mounting plates to where it's going to make the most sense of whatever accessories you're buying. And really truly, like this shelf will hold a lot of tools. It's going to hold several power tools, so 1, 2, 3, 4 bays, and probably at least 2 deep, maybe 3 deep. And you can put whatever you want on top. We can hang our screwdrivers on the side and really make use of those different things. And then you could have your hooks for your other spaces as well. You could hang string trimmers and extension cords and shovels, you name it, off those hooks. our thoughts on the RYOBI link system is it's a great way for you to get organized kind of out of the box. Let's face it, the hardest thing to do many times is just get started with something and figuring out what we have to do. So when you have a storage solution that has a lot of the answers already and it's modular where you can add to it as you need it, I think that's a great idea. You know, everybody wants to build a French cleat wall or they want to kind of build out their own custom organization, you know, toolbox or, you know, large storage solution, whatever. And that's great if you have the time to do that and if you have the forethought. Otherwise, buy into a system like this that you can grow with as you need things, and you can buy specific kits or you can buy kind of general kits. And the $60 kit's going to give you two of these here. So it's going to give you these two things. It's going to give you a few of the organizer hooks. So you're going to get a 7-piece kit, and you're going to get these screws and anchors as well. Those anchors work great for drywall, but not so much in thinner pegboard that we have here. But like I said, we had some additional structure behind that we could tie to, so we had no problems there. We just couldn't use the anchors that they provided with it, but that's not a big deal. You typically understand that when you're hanging things from time to time. So you know what your shop has, your garage has. If you've got typical studs, very easy. It's already set up, you know, every 16-inch on center, as well as this whole rail here can be drilled out. So if you need to go offset, you can do so. If you look at everything we've got here as far as storage, this kit's $60. The big shelf for all the power tools is $65. This smaller shelf is $50. So 60 and 65, that's $125. You add the 50, so $175 in storage solution that we see right here. Now you may say that's a lot of money, and it is. Listen, that's a power tool for you. But again, look at all the things that's going to help you to get organized with. We got everything back up here, I think, with the exception of maybe a screwdriver or something. But we also added some things like the fan and some other things as well. And there's plenty of room to add here also. And this was probably a bad setup to put these two shelves side by side, but we just wanted to throw something up there to kind of show you some of the options that you had. And I could quickly take that down. In 3 minutes, I could have that down and hang more hooks up there and, you know, add me another section down there and have more places to hang things. So we'll have a link in the description of everything we have here. So make sure you check that out. Also keep track of us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, and even TikTok. And by all means, if you like this video, would you hit the like and subscribe button if you haven't already? And also, if you hated our video, then give us a thumbs down. But let us know in the comments why. Have a great day. Keep smiling.